because he was kind of stranded down there for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know the whole history on that, but he said his hair turned white while he was down there. His hair was as white as the inside of this box here. It was just
Really?
snow white.
Yeah.
But he said he did use one tea bag 20-some times because he ran out, going to run out, and he liked his tea.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to meet him, so I felt that was a real honor.
Oh, that's
to
great.
get to famous people. And
So,
anything else?
are there any photographs that you have, either of the farm when you first started, or any family photographs that you think we should copy, that we should put in our collection for the history of the county?
I have some photographs of my father's engine room, and I have some. I have to. My God, I've got so many thousands of photographs that.
I bet.
I forget what I really got
Mm-hmm.
until I start spending hours.
Yeah.
God.
Well, if you need
I've still been trying to find one photograph that I took at Birkenau, the prisoner in
the
Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either at Birkenau or Auschwitz. And then I saw it again at the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., where you leave the museum. I don't know if it's still there, but I got a photograph of it, and I wanted to put it in the paper on a Spirit of Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay to put it in there because it's so apropos for today.
Yeah.
Because and I can't repeat it exactly, but it said, I was all in favor of Hitler. He made the trains run on time, and there was order, and we were all embarrassed from World War I, and he made us proud of Germany again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he said, so I supported him, but then he came for the Jews. And he said, I wasn't Jewish, so I didn't pay attention to it. He said, then he came for the Catholics, and I wasn't Catholic, so I didn't pay attention to it. Then he came for the workers, working union workers, and I wasn't a union worker. I was a private businessman, so I wasn't there. But then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening in America right now. Exactly. Well, he supposedly kept Mein Kampf on his bedstead, beside his bed. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that I don't doubt it at all, because that's the pattern he's followed. He loves dictators. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, I've been trying to find that photograph, but I've still got 2 more totes to go through of photographs. I mean, totes.
Yeah.
Filled up.
Totes.
And it takes so long because you look at every one of them.
Everyone's got a memory, right?
Oh my Lord, yes. And and anyhow, I've got apothecary jars that I found in my attic from Mr. Hoff. That was an officer in the Civil War. Is written up in the history of Jefferson County here.
Really?
And I forget what his name is. Here it is. James Lawrence Hoff. Although details about his person's early life are scarce, he was a native of Jefferson County, where he was born on October 2nd, 1825. When the Civil War commenced, he was serving as a major in the 2nd Virginia Regiment, a volunteer organization, and he continued in this position until his regiment was attached to the Confederate Army. He then enlisted in the Bot Grays, remained about 12 months, and was afterwards promoted to the rank of major in the 11th Virginia Regiment. From that position, he was later detailed as a quartermaster in Rosser's brigade, where he served until the close of the war. Now, on his return, Major Hoff entered into the mercantile business in Charlestown in the Sadler Block, next to the post office.
Yeah.
That they had businesses. The Hoff family did in drug stores. I think it was a furniture store.
Yeah.
There was a funeral home, I don't know what maybe it'll tell you here,
Yeah.
and my memory's getting bad. He entered the mercantile business in Charlestown in 1875. He was elected to the West Virginia legislature, and several years after, he became president of the Jefferson County Court. His death occurred at his home near the county seat. Now, I don't know whether that was my house, whether he lived there, because I haven't put together the pieces,
Yeah.
because I got a list of the people that owned that house, and a story in this book about a Civil War thing, but anyhow, that's his history in here.
That's crazy.
But I found the apothecary jars in my attic, about 5 or 6 of them, and I can't remember all of them. Well, some of them are Brown and Hoff, and then Hoff and Hoff, and then I don't know what there's different names, but one of the older bottles is either Hoff and Hoff or Brown and Hoff, apothecary, in Charlestown, Virginia,
Wow.
before 1863, say, and it was part of Virginia,
Right.
and it was before the Civil War. So that Paul Manzik, till he died, he tried to buy that thing from me for a long time, and I never would do it because I said I collect old stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I served with Paul for about, I guess, 15 years in the Board of Education.
Wow.
And but at any rate, there's another story that I need to tell you that that could be recorded in Jefferson County history, because it's oral history.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Heffelbauer family up in Ripon?
Yeah.
Well, the old home place is when you turn off there in Ripon, at the old Ripon Myerstown Road.
Right.
At that first old yellow farmhouse that sits on the left. I made hay up there when I was dairying, and there used to be a big bank barn behind the house. And now Lucille and Frances Heffelbauer were maiden ladies, never married. Lucille worked for the Board of Education for her whole life as a teacher, and then as a supervisor for both elementary and secondary teachers. She did both, and she visited every classroom in Jefferson County schools at least twice a year. That's when people at the county office used to work. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right.
Anyhow, Frances was an elementary teacher and a good one, and Lucille was the supervisor the whole time I was at the county office, and she helped me develop the curriculum for the first 2 kindergarten programs in Jefferson County. I funded them with Title I, and she helped me get all that, helped me set that up. Anyhow, I think when her mother was a little girl during the Civil War, she was playing in the barn behind that house, the Heffelbauer house. And in those days, they would thrash the wheat in the barn and blow the chaff out into the barnyard. And I remember growing up playing on barnyard mounds of straw, and you'd slide off of them, and cows would eat into it until you had a mushroom, and then they would fall. But they would eat into the straw, the cows would, and so it'd be like a big mushroom. Well, during the Civil War, their mother was playing in the barn and saw 2 men dressed in civilian clothes ride up to the barnyard. And they reached in their pants and pulled out 2 pistols. Each of them pulled out a pistol and shoved it into the straw rick. Well, when they rode on into Ripon, she got down, climbed up, and pulled the 2 guns out, took them to her mother. And so Mrs. Pauline Heskett was Virginia Heskett, I believe. No, Pauline Heskett. I worked for her. I rented her farm up there where that housing development is now, where the backyard caved in
Yep.
for the cave. Anyhow, I farmed that farm for 7 years, and I knew Pauline Heskett. She married Mr. Heskett that lived right there in Ripon, where that mill is behind the house, and then right where the road cuts in. The boy owns it now from that farm there. Anyhow, her nephew has those 2 pistols. When I was farming her farm before, she told me one day, she said, "Warren, don't you play with old guns, don't you?" "Yeah, I hunt with them, yeah, black powder guns." She said, "I got these 2 pistols and I'm scared to death of them. I think they're loaded. I'm scared to death of guns. Would you clean them up and a little bit and make them safe? Because I'm afraid to even handle them. Because it looks to me like they're loaded." "Well, yeah, you can see they're loaded."
You look, they're loaded.
And anyhow, so I took the 2 guns.